The landscape of physiognomy. A theological reference of the first African Nigerian Reiki master and healer, Bazzy Francis. The landscape of physiognomy are his unique ideologies in addressing one of the problems of mankind. The physical excellence does not of itself produce a good mind and character. On the other hand, excellence of the mind and character will make the best out of the physique given. The thought you choose are molding you and shaping you subconsciously. The thoughts of man are metaphysical vortexes, subjected to the kind of information being fed and accepted into the mind. In response, the mind builds the interior and exterior of your being. And in due time the result becomes visible to the outward character. As a New Age philosopher from Africa, I've been able to work closely with pure divine spiritual beings that shaped and molded my character, and this was only made possible by the loving grace and mercy of the Most High God. With intense study, research and discoveries, I've been able to come to a conclusion that our mental attributes are affected positively or negatively, depending on the harmonics we absorb on a day-to-day basis. Matter of facts, we are heavily influenced by varies of emotional flux, developed as mental attributes. This is a well-studied branch of knowledge that has been in existence throughout the ages. But in recent decades, people began to battle the mainstream thought of philosophy with diverse studies, analogies and theologies. The archetype of learning one's personal inner landscape through the indication of their outward appearance became a valid means of assessment and validation of such individual. Our thoughts are not something that can be concealed from the world, for if this was so, external opinions and validation becomes a tool that such individual could live off of. That's why I've been spiritually guided to speak and enlighten you on physiology. I'd need your maximum attention in order for you to attain this sacred knowledge. The reason is because this is something I believe no body has really taken their time to analyze and educate others on. Physiology or physiognomy is the learning or study of the inner landscape through the indication of their outer appearance. I believe you can agree with me that our physical attributes are largely influenced by our mental attributes. Who we are, how we think and act shows up as a major indication through our appearances. Humans and animals use the anatomy of physiognomy as the primary factors to access the mind, therefore submitting erroneous facts about such individual. Lest I remind you that Mark 7:15 says nothing from outside a man really has tangible reasons to defile him, rather that which come out of him. I think what this Bible passage meant was never to judge a book by its cover. Take your time to access deeply and get to know that person before you can conclude your analogy on such individual. I've come to understand and realize that wisdom, knowledge and understanding are different words with different meaning altogether. Listen, it is one thing to be wise, therefore attaining the right wisdom, and on the other hand, it's totally different to have a knowing on a particular topic or discussion or subject. But I submit to you with the honesty, truth and the scripture that it's totally devious when you lack understanding. Be it understanding of life, self or the scripture. When you lack understanding and not concerned to truly find it, then your wisdom becomes foolishness. This is where a being becomes foolishly wise. Let's be 100% real, there are people that hates you right now just because someone else told them something false about you. Most of these secret haters are admirers from a distance, that may or may have not met you in person. But because they've been brainwashed with false information, they made their decision to also slander your name. Mark 7:21 says, "For from within, out of the hearts of men proceeds evil thoughts, adulteries, fornication, murders, thefts, covetousness, wickedness, deceit, licentiousness, evil eye, blasphemy, pride and foolishness." Obviously the Bible made it clear that all evil things come from within and defiles a man. We live in a generation where we get judged quickly, people concluding our lives without even getting to know who we are. When you ask them why don't you like that person, they'll give foolish answers like, I heard he's a bad person or I heard she's a bad person. Matter of fact, people even hate on another person just because of how they appear physically. Either by facial looks or by dressing. Such terms shouldn't be a valid reason to hate, mock or slander the someone who's done nothing to you. Your words can either build someone's life positively or crush the world of that person entirely. So you have to be careful. Why can't we live a life of peace and free from criticism? Why can't we live with compassion and kindness? Why do we hate and condemn others? Why do we judge? No matter your race, beliefs, religion, culture or ethics, it shouldn't be a source of chaos and abyss to the well-being of humanity. We are all one, doesn't matter whether you're black or white, blue or green. From dust we were formed, and dust we shall return. All these won't matter when you're lying lifeless 6 feet below the ground. So live your life and be happy while doing so. Be kind and compassionate towards others. Love and support unconditionally because we're all created and formed out of love. God is love and love is God.